Hi there. We're going to be learning today about how to access CoCalc, which is a free online system which runs all different kinds of programs, including Julia, Octave, which is like MATLAB, R, which is a statistics package, and what we're interested in, which is Python. It's important to learn Python. It's being used more and more often in industry and in four-year colleges and universities. And we discovered that one of the things that happened when our students transferred to schools like Mines, CU Boulder, and so on, was that mathematically they were super prepared, but they didn't have the programming experience that the students who had been at the four-year college from their freshman year had. And so we've instituted a program to introduce programming in mathematics a little bit at a time in the calculus series. So let me share my screen with you and we'll go ahead and get started on how to access CoCalc and how to run Python in what's called a Jupyter notebook. Let's go. Okay, the first thing you want to do is you want to navigate inside of your D2L in the content section and get to the Python projects folder. So you'll see the Python projects folder right here, and you can either click on it or you can just see it right down here. And the first thing we want to do is we want to click on this folder called Using CoCalc and Jupyter Notebooks for Python. When you click on this, it's going to open up and you're going to see some different items here. This item right here is a PDF document which will step you through with pictures on how to access CoCalc and some of the tricks and things to use Python within a Jupyter notebook. And then below it, you're going to see the videos that I've made on how to access it inside of CoCalc and how to use it. And then the last file is how to save your output from a Python file as a PDF file. And this will be important because when you submit your programs to me, don't submit them as Python files, submit them as PDFs. So let's go ahead and open up this first file right here and see what we have. When you click on Using CoCalc and Python, it's going to open up. Now, yours will probably not open up with the side menu that you see here, but what you can do is you can click right here on this sort of book looking thing in the upper left of the window. And then it will usually open up with a pages view, and you want to click on the table of contents or outline view. And you can see in here all the different headings that I've made in the document. Now, at the top are the basic Python tips for how to use Python. And we'll go through this in the next video. What we want to talk about in this video is the basics to using CoCalc, which means we want to start with accessing CoCalc. So click on Basics to Using CoCalc, or you could have scrolled down and you'll find that this is on page 5. So when we're here, we want to talk about different ones. Now we're not using Sage Math, we're actually going to use a Jupyter notebook. So Sage Math is a free online mathematics software system, and you can use it to access all different kinds of free software. So we want to go to the CoCalc website, which is right here. And again, the link is CoCalc.com. So when you're looking at this, you'll see this https://CoCalc.com. So the first thing we want to do is we want to click on that, and then we want to create an account. So let's come over here, and I have to open it in a different window because I have CoCalc opened on something else in Chrome. So I'm using Firefox, but you can use whichever browser you prefer. So one of the things you can do is you can also just Google it, CoCalc, and it will come up and it will have CoCalc, which is basically collaborative calculation. It uses computers all over the world for its computing power. So it's used all over the world, and you can see right here, you can, this is the home page. There's a sign in for later on, but we first want to sign up. So when you click on sign up, you have to agree to the terms of service, and then you need to put in an email address. Now I'm going to put in one that I don't have an account number. Right? And then we have to select a password. Now select something that you'll remember. Make sure that you remember what it is. Right? And then you want to put in all the information that it's asking for. First name, last name, and then you click on sign up. Now, I don't want it to save my password because I don't think it's a good idea to have it save your password. But basically, it's going to bring you into a screen or something that looks like this. And it's going to say, open your CoCalc projects. So you see you have CoCalc projects right here. Now, it may look like the one on the left, or it may look like the one on the right. It changes occasionally. They update it a little bit. But basically what we're looking for is something that's called projects. So we're going to be looking for the projects tab. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over here where it says open your CoCalc projects, and we're going to click on that. Now you'll see up here is this yellow circle surrounded by a broken blue circle. So you see this yellow dot surrounded by the broken blue circle. That is the projects icon. And when you click on that, it will take you to your projects. Now, if you just created an account, you don't have any projects left. So the first thing you want to do is you want to create a project. So when you're creating a project, you're going to make sure that you put in a title or something that makes sense to you. So you don't want to label it with something that's not going to make sense. So you might label it with the name of the class and Python project 1 or Python project 2, Python project 3. If you're taking all the calculus series, you may end up with quite a few. So you may want to create one called calculus whatever. All right, so once you have that in there, you want to specify the name. So in my case, it gives an untitled and it gives the date that you're creating it as an option, but I want something that's a little more descriptive. So I'm going to put in calculus 3, right? Yours may be calculus 1 or calculus 2. And then you click on create project, right? And you can see that it's running right here. And there's a button that says, of course, start project, right? So we have start project, okay? So the project is starting, and it will take a little while because this is a free license. And it may give you some dire warnings at the top. Times are very slow, very bad performance. For what we're doing, the performance will be absolutely just fine. You don't need to worry about it. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is we want to upload some files, and we want to make sure that we're using the right kinds of files. So if we want to, you'll see new up here. And if you click on new, then you can create a new folder or a new file. Now, if you click on new file, you want to make sure that you select a Jupyter notebook. So you'll see this part right here. Now, you may want to name your file or your folder appropriately. So right here, you might put in something like calculus 3 Python project 1, something descriptive, all right? Now, what we want to do is we want to select that it's a Jupyter notebook. So that's our option right there. We don't want to use Jupyter Classic, we want to use Jupyter Notebook. And you'll see all the different ones that are here. Now, there's a lot more than there used to be, so the pictures don't exactly match up, but it's kind of hard to keep up with that. Now, it gives you some kernels. Kernels are what runs the program in the background. Now, we're not using Julia, we're not using R, and we're not going to use Sage Math. We want Python 3. So we're going to click on Python 3, and it opens up like this. And this will enable us to create a wholly new file. Now, in our case, we're not going to create a wholly new file. What we're going to do is we're going to upload what I have already in the system. So we're going to click on Files right here, and we're going to go to Upload, right? Now, before we go to Upload, let's go back over here into our D2L, and let's find that particular file. So go back to Python Projects, and click on the first project or the second project, whichever, well, should be the first if you're just getting the account. All right. And so the next thing we're going to do is look down here under your project, and you're going to look for the one that says IPYNB. That is a Python notebook. So the NB stands for notebook. So we may want to download this file. So you can click on download, and you'll see that it's going to download down here in the lower left. Now we want to come over here and we want to upload a file. So we're going to click on upload, and then we're going to navigate to downloads, and we're going to click on the one that we just did, right? Now it opens up in here. And if you click on it, it will open up that particular file, all right? And you'll be able to see all the different steps. Okay, I hope this helps you to get started in CoCalc. And in the next video, we'll take a look at some of the shortcuts and some of the do's and don'ts in programming in Python.